I mean, just kind of take us from the beginning. You know, what happened? I guess you guys were out to dinner or something to that effect, so tell us what happened.
Yeah, we went out to dinner.
Just put
If you could raise your right hand for me, do you swear or affirm that the information you're about to provide is true and accurate?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, appreciate it.
We went out to dinner that night. Had a good time. Actually had one of my coworkers, my Monday partner on the ambulance, met us out there.
Mm-hmm.
And we had wings, had a couple of drinks, and we just had a good time, talking. My coworker finally got to meet Tamara. And, okay, but when we got back home, she started yelling and screaming about things, and I mean, she had been under a lot of stress. She had just been fired from her job because of some medical issues. She got...
What's that?
It's a neurological disorder.
Okay.
And it comes from getting a flu shot. Because she got the flu shot at work. And a couple weeks after that, she started having issues walking. And so we were having to go through, she was having to get blood transfusions and things to try to get that situated.
A man calmly stands in front of detectives, claiming his girlfriend simply took her own life. But there's one problem. Nothing about this story matches the evidence, and every word he speaks is quietly building the case against him.
Issues and things like that. Just, I didn't think it was anywhere near this point. But she started yelling and screaming. My dog has a tendency to get in the way sometimes, especially when things are, not like they should be. And he got in the way and she kicked him, which I couldn't believe.
Did it hurt the dog, or does the dog need to be...
He's fine.
What kind of dog is it?
He's a Rottweiler.
Okay, pretty big animal?
He's about 75 pounds, yes, sir. But, I mean, he had never done anything like that before. And I just said, look, before this gets way too out of hand, I said, I'm going to take Ranger over to my parents' house for a while. They can watch him. And I'm going to stay over there for a little bit, let you cool down, and just do what you need to do. As far as, settle down, talk about it when I get back, And I was over at my parents' house for a while, and figured, okay, it should be enough time. She should have calmed down, because normally, if there's any type of, spat or something, it's 10 minutes and it's done. That's the way we work. And it didn't happen often at all. When I got home, the bathroom door was shut. And I called in through the bathroom door. There was no answer. I knocked, no answer. And so I opened it, and she was laying there on the floor.
And what did you see when you opened the door?
I saw her laying there on the floor in blood. And then she had the pistol in her hand. And I stepped in. I checked the pulse. And
You're an EMT, right?
I'm a paramedic.
Okay, paramedic, and okay. So I obviously no signs of pulse or anything like that.
There's nothing.
Okay. And then what happened?
I guess shock set in. Didn't know what to do.
Okay. Where'd you said she had a gun in her hand? Where'd the gun come from?
That was my pistol.
Okay. You know, is it a high point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I take it you would keep it, that's your home, so you would probably keep it somewhere.
I kept it in my nightstand.
Okay. Did she ever been shooting with you? Does she obviously know how to use like a semi-automatic pistol?
Yes, sir. We actually just went and did our CWP class.
Okay. Did she get like a license, or have you sent it off yet?
We've already sent it off, yes, sir.
Just waiting for the return and stuff? Okay. All right. So she obviously knows how to use and function a pistol if need be and so forth.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I can understand or empathize with the fact that you see this going on. You said that, you know, shock sets in. I take it your first instinct, like you said, was to check for the pulse with your training and so forth. So once shock set in, what do you remember happening after that? And take us through.
Just trying to figure out what to do. And I don't know. It was like just a blur for a while.
Did you stay there at the house, or did you go to your parents, or?
I stayed there at the house for a while, and then I went to my parents' house, and that's when we coupled.
Okay. And called Mr. Courtney and so forth? Okay. Okay. What night, so where'd you guys go eat dinner at?
At Hooters.
And that was with your work partner?
Yes, sir.
And what's his name?
Trenton Crenshaw.
Okay. The Hooters in Brandon?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Okay.
On 60 in Falkenberg.
All right. What, do you remember like what time you guys went there, what day it was to go eat dinner?
We got there, I don't know, it was about 9:30, somewhere around in there. It was Tuesday night, and then we stayed there when they closed at midnight, so we left right before they closed.
Okay.
And then we had to take Trenton home because he had had a little too much to drink, because he knows a couple of the waitresses there and had some shots with them and stuff like that too, so I didn't want him getting into trouble, so.
Mm-hmm. Was everybody, it was you, Trenton, and Tamara at dinner? Anybody else having dinner with you guys?
It was just us. I
Okay.
mean, some of the waitresses that he knew, you know, came around,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, it was just to talk to him and left.
Okay.
In 2016, police in Florida received a distress call from Thomas Elmore Jr. He claimed he had just discovered his girlfriend, Tamara, dead inside their home bathroom. Tamara was a respected nurse, known for her intelligence, discipline, and strong professional reputation. But what officers saw at the scene immediately raised concerns. A firearm was found in her hand, positioned in a way that didn't fully align with a simple suicide narrative. And from the very beginning, something felt wrong.
Were you guys drinking and so forth?
Oh, Tamara had a beer, and well, maybe she might have had 2 beers or so, and I had a pitcher of beer.
Okay. You said earlier she has what syndrome from flu? Does she take medications or something for that?
She takes pain meds for it.
Okay. She drank how much do you think maybe at Hooters?
Maybe 2 beers.
Okay. Did she seem okay? I mean, with the medication and drinking the beer and so
Yes,
forth?
sir. Yeah, as far as I could tell. I mean, I wouldn't have let her drive. I mean, I made that mistake myself, as you probably well know. I wouldn't want anybody else to go through that.
Okay. So basically, after you guys drop Trenton off at his house, you and Tamara return to your home. Okay. And then, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys get into an argument. Did she kind of initiate the argument?
She
or?
just started yelling and screaming about things.
I mean, what kind of prompted it? I mean, can you think? I mean, anything happened at the restaurant? I mean, was she has she ever drinking before where she's been intoxicated and she acts like this? I mean, I don't know her, so I'm just kind of trying to get a background from you.
As far as I know, I mean, I've seen her buzzed and things like that, but I've never seen her intoxicated or mean or anything like that. And that's why it just kind of threw me for a loop. And when we got back home, all of a sudden, it was like it was my fault that she lost her job and that things were just closing in around her. Things.
Okay. How long you guys been together?
3 years.
Okay. You're not married or anything, just living here? Okay.
Yeah, because she actually has a house in St. Pete, but it's a 2-story house. And when she came down, she couldn't go upstairs. So
she has a hard time moving?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know much about that syndrome. I mean, obviously you're a medical professional. Like, what are the symptoms and stuff that...
Basically, like I said, it's a neurological disorder. And it's basically triggered somehow, like the way she got it, through the flu shot. I don't know if it's the antibodies to try to fight the flu or something that changed the neurological system. And it can go into a few different stages where it can mess up brain function. It can also mess up your respiratory issues if you've got it, like in the, if it affects the nervous system in the chest area. It can also affect your lower and upper extremities. And she was having trouble with her lower extremities.
Has she been diagnosed with that?
Yes, sir. As far as what she's told me, and she takes.
Okay.
And she would go off her meds every once in a while, and then start them back up, and it was just ever since it's been a roller coaster.
Okay.
I thought we were getting things back on track because she was starting to get more function back.
Mm-hmm. Well, what kind of work did she do?
She was a nurse, but she worked on the administrative side. She worked for.
Okay.
And she was in their appeals division, and they were involved in trying to create a new software program that would make the appeals process easier. And they were having issues with their side of it, so they delayed their program process. And they took her team and moved her team to another team and didn't move her anywhere. And she was having issues with that because she didn't know what was going on. They were giving her pretty much meaningless task at work. And then it was her boss and her had issues, and it finally came down to it to where they put her to where she was reporting to her boss's boss, because her boss didn't, I guess had too many other things on her plate to have to deal with her reporting to her too. And
how long has it been since she's lost her job with?
It was just maybe a week or two ago.
So pretty recent then.
Yes, sir.
Thomas claimed he found her body roughly 24 hours after her death. But forensic indicators told a different story. According to medical analysis, Tamara had likely been dead for nearly 36 hours. That single contradiction immediately shattered the timeline he was trying to build. And investigators knew this was only the first crack in his story.
I can't remember the exact date, but yeah, they just shipped all of her stuff from the office there back to
Mhm.
my house the other day.
Okay.
I've actually still got it in my truck.
Okay. And is the red Expedition, is that her vehicle she drives to work? And
Yes, sir.
and then the gold, I think it's a PT.
PT.
Is that yours?
Yes, sir.
So you're kind of working
Well,
on
that
it or
was-
something?
Yes, sir. That was both of ours, and that's in both of our names. The
Okay.
Expedition's in her name. Yeah, I was replacing the water pump and timing belt,
Mm.
all that stuff.
And then you got a truck or something?
We got a rental truck, yes,
Okay.
sir. Because her Expedition, the front end needs to be changed on it because we had a wheel bearing go out on it. Yeah.
Okay. About the residents, don't take offense to it or anything, but obviously there's a lot of stuff that was in the residence. Is that her kind of doing? Is that your doing? Is it a combination? I'm just trying to get an idea.
She was a hoarder.
Okay. I was going to basically throw that term out if you know what it is, but is that just part of her personality, her characteristics? Has she always been into hoarding stuff?
Yes, sir.
I mean, it looks to me like she buys stuff and just kind of sets it aside.
Yes, sir.
So she buys a lot of things. Has it gotten you into a position of buying or kind of paying the bills, so to speak, with...
I pay the bills.
Yeah.
You know.
Is that part of the money problems that have been brewing?
No, I mean, she pays her rent on her house in St. Pete, and her house in St. Pete is the same way.
Okay.
I could take you over there and show you.
So pretty much same thing with buying
Same
stuff and
condition.
stacking stuff up. Okay.
And, so it wasn't like, the only bill that there's an issue with is my mortgage. And that's just because when I got a divorce and then, came back home, I wasn't working at the time. And so I'm trying to get all that situated too.
Mhm.
But, that wasn't an issue.
Okay.
If I lost my house, we'd have a place to go. And or we would have found somewhere else that wasn't a 2-story house.
Mhm.
You know.
Did I guess her hoarding affect you? I mean, did it bother you any or?
It did, because I'm normally a very clean person.
Mhm.
And there was, a lot of the situation on where a lot of her stuff came to my house was she had a storage unit,
Mhm.
and she was just paying all this money into a storage unit, and my house was basically bare.
Mhm.
I didn't have much except for a couch and a bed and a table, and so I said, we can bring stuff from the storage unit over to my house, store it there until we can figure out something else to do. We can, have
And
a
it kind
yard
of turned
sale.
into what it turned into with
Yes,
more
sir.
stuff. Gotcha. Let me go back a little bit to the point like where you go in shock. I'm just trying to get a timeline down and just kind of get an idea, understand that it affected you obviously and so forth. Did you leave from your house after like you found her and go to your parents' house? Is that
I
where you
stayed at the house for a while.
like like a time frame, like how long?
It might have been 24 hours or so.
So it was into the next day
Yes.
that you go to your parents' house.
Yeah.
Okay. So would that be Wednesday sometime that you go to your parents' house?
It was Thursday.
Thursday you go to your parents' house? Okay. So pretty much Wednesday, during the day Wednesday, can you remember what you did or what was going on or?
I basically just sat there on the bed.
In the back bedroom?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And just at that.
Okay. And what prompted you to go to your parents' house on Thursday?
Just didn't know what to do.
Do you remember about what time you got to your parents' house?
It was probably 3, 4, somewhere around in there.
Afternoon or morning?
It was this afternoon.
Okay. All right. And I take it you probably talked to your parents about what had happened?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what happened after you talked to your parents about this?
They told me that, yeah, I needed to call somebody
Okay.
and see what to do.
I understand, you're a medical professional, paramedic, and such as that. And when, you checked for a pulse, obviously you're telling me that you didn't detect the pulse. So probably in your mind and training, you basically knew that she was deceased at that point. You didn't think about calling 911 still or the police or anything?
I didn't think about much at all after that point.
Okay.
Just sat in pride.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes,
Okay. I know that you said that that you went to walk the dog. How long were you gone by the time that you came back?
I was gone an hour or so, maybe.
An hour?
And that was to take the dog to your parents' house,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yeah.
Do they live up in Sefner or
Yes,
something?
sir.
Okay.
Correct.
When you left, did you lock the door?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When you came back, was the door still locked?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Were you were in the military, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What,
Yeah.
Army?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was looking at the Ranger.
Yes, sir.
I know that we talked to Trenton, and he speaks highly of you. Army Ranger, medic.
Yes, sir.
All right. How long were you in?
I was there for 14.
14 years.
Yes, sir.
You
And
did
I
some
noticed-
tours?
I noticed some of your insignias there. Air assault,
Yes, sir.
airborne,
Yes, sir.
expert, field medical,
It's a combat medic badge.
combat medical badge. And I didn't see the other one.
It's a Pathfinder badge.
Okay. When was she diagnosed?
That was, let's see, I guess about it was last year, towards the end of the year.
Okay.
I can't remember the exact time,
Yeah. When you guys were at Hooters,
but yes, sir.
I know that we talked to Threaten, and he's saying that there was some girl that you were trying to buy a drink for one of the waiters, messing around, that you guys were joking around with one of the waiters.
Yeah, it was his friend.
Just his friend.
Yes, sir. And yeah, and they were hanging around, and so I bought everybody a shot.
Tell me about that.
And as far as just talking, and they were going to have a shot, so, and they were inviting Trenton to have a shot, and I said, I'll buy the round.
No. I know that he was telling us that you were trying to buy this girl a shot, but she couldn't have a shot because she was working.
Oh, the
That's what
waitress.
we're-
Yeah, the
yeah, the
waitress that
waitress.
was on duty, yeah.
Okay.
No, we were just kidding around. Yeah, we were all just kidding around, having a good time, telling her, she was over there working like crazy, and it seemed like the other ones were off talking and stuff, and it's like, sit down and have a drink, take it easy.
Was it before like closing time when they were probably getting
Yes, sir.
off or something?
Yeah, it was around that time, because the two that Trenton knew, they were off with, I don't know, it might have been another girl that worked there or something, sitting in the booth that was across from us. So
Okay. Did you send Trenton any text messages after you and Tamara dropped him off at home?
He sent me a text message saying, "Are you home yet?" And at that point, we hadn't gotten home yet, and I said, "No, we're not."
Okay. Any other text messages that you remember when you got home to Trenton? Something about one of the servers there at Hooters or anything?
Not that I can think of, no sir.
How much did you have to drink that night?
I had a pitcher of beer and a couple shots.
Okay. Did you feel intoxicated, like buzzing, like you could feel the drinks?
I mean, there might have been a little buzz there, but no, I was not intoxicated or.
Okay.
anything like that.
I wasn't there, so I just had to ask the
I
question.
mean, I wouldn't have driven,
Okay.
but
Who drove?
Tamara did.
Tamara did.
Yes, sir.
Was it the Expedition or the
Yeah, it was
pickup?
the pickup truck.
What were you wearing that night?
This.
Okay, that's what you were wearing
Yes,
that
sir.
night. Okay. What was she wearing?
She was wearing the clothes that she was in.
The clothes that she was.
Yes.
Okay.
Just going back to when you got home, after going to Hooters, you guys drop Trenton off, you go home. I guess Trenton sends you a text message. He confirmed with us, he sends you a text message to make sure you guys got home. You don't have any other text message conversations with him after? Something to the effect of like an interest in one of the server girls there at the Hooters? I mean, were him being like flirty with you and you texted something back to Trenton about that?
Yeah, there may have been something like that, just out of kidding. That would not have been something that would have prompted anything to have happened.
Well, that was my question. If
Right.
like one of these girls was being flirty or something, and then you text like a conversation with Trenton, that was going to be my question. If Tamara saw that and got upset or something.
No, sir. No, because she wouldn't check my phone. I wouldn't check hers. We had a lot of trust in each other. You'll probably think I'm a piece of garbage, but we did do the swinging thing back when we.
I don't judge anybody, so I mean I appreciate you offering that up because it gives us a little bit more background, just kind of knowing dynamics and stuff and why things happen and so forth. So she wouldn't have been the type to I don't know, get upset or jealous with you if a server was being flirty and.
No, sir. She actually thinks it's funny because my ex-wife was like that. I couldn't even go somewhere and have for instance, when I took my job at LSU, after we had moved up to Louisiana, we went to the Tilted Kilt, and the waitress paid a lot of attention to me because that's what they do. That's how they get their tips and things like that. And yeah, my ex got furious about it. Tamara wouldn't have. She would have, chimed in and just joked about it, and probably giving me a jokingly hard time about oh, she was all over you and stuff like that. But no, we had complete trust in each other.
So just going back, she, as soon as you guys get in the door, was it all of a sudden she just starts engaging you in this argument?
She just started yelling and screaming, and a lot of it was she had trouble getting the door open because my door has sagged a little bit, and you have
which door, like the front door
the
or
side door there?
Okay, the carport. Okay.
Yeah, the one that we use, it sagged a little bit, so you have to, to lock it, you have to lift up on it and pull it closed, and that way the bottom latch catches. She was having a hard time getting that open, And then, you know, like I said, my dog gets in the way. She starts yelling and screaming, and he just continues to get in the way. And, you know, I'm trying to talk to her and tell her, calm down, you know, I'll take him outside, you know, let him do what he needs to do. I mean, we've been gone for a little bit. He probably has to go out and go to the bathroom. And then she starts turning on me, yelling and screaming at me on, you know, how her life is messed up and that, you know, it was my fault that she lost her job. And like, you know, how is it my fault that you lost your job? You had an issue. You know, you got sick. We've been trying to get through this.
Was her illness creating a lot of stress with you guys?
Not to where we were fighting about it. You know, it was stressful not knowing how long it was going to take for her to recover. You know, having to make sure that she would go to her appointments, because after a while she got tired of having to keep going and getting it was weighing on her.
Okay. Did she, obviously she was prescribed medications and so forth.
Yes, sir.
In your opinion, did you think she abused those medications?
I think she abused her pain meds a lot.
Did you ever take her pain meds or anything along with her or anything like that?
As far as
just for recreational use or something
sir.
like that?
No, sir. No, I've got my own insurance, and if I needed anything, I could go get my own. But
Okay.
yeah, no, I don't take her meds.
All right. Well, just, you know, looking at this and kind of getting a gauge of, you know, what happened and what led up to all this, you know, obviously you're upset over what's happened to Tamara and so forth. That's understanding and so forth. Before you left, you know, let me go back. You say you returned after taking your dogs to your parents' house, or your dog to your parents' house, and you come into the house, unlock the door, go in, no answer from her. She's in the bathroom. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And the door to the bathroom was shut?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Was it locked or just shut?
It was just shut.
Okay. And obviously you find her.
Yes, sir.
In the state she was in. Is there anything different about that from what you earlier told us? My question is, did she do this, or did this happen in front of you?
No, sir.
So you come home and you find her in the bathroom with the door shut?
Yes, sir.
And the reason he asked that, because I think Threaten believes his impression was that this happened in front of you, so he was feeling bad for you, that you witnessed this.
It was basically,
you know,
some conversation. He had brief conversation. I understand you went to the headquarters of AmeriCare, correct? That's where you work?
Yes, sir.
And that's when you first see Trenton, and you told him what had happened.
Yeah.
And he was under the assumption that this had happened in your presence.
No, sir.
So that never
happened in my presence.
There's also a call that you make, and I believe it was at 1:59 in the morning. It'll be from Tuesday night into Wednesday morning.
So wee hours of Wednesday morning.
So 2 o'clock in the morning, Wednesday morning, that you call him and he doesn't answer.
Right.
So his impression is that when you call him at that time, and the conversation that you guys have when you went to your job, is that he's asking you if is that when it happened?
Oh, no, sir.
That's not when it happened?
No.
Okay.
No, because, like I said, he had sent me the text message about, have you guys gotten home yet, and stuff like that. And when I called him, it was, you know, just to verify that, you know, no timeline on there. I think it was to let him know that we had gotten home, something at that point. So.
Okay. How soon after you guys got home is when she starts screaming. Was it quick?
Yeah, it was immediately.
Okay, it was immediately.
Yes, sir.
So that's not when this happened. That's when you call him. It's just to let him know.
Right. That way.
That so at what time did you go to your parents' house to take the dog?
And like it was a little bit after we had gotten home, so I can't remember an exact time, but it was.
So then I can say that it was after you called them to let them know you guys were home.
Yes, sir.
So it was a little after 1:59 is when the call, at least it shows in his call log, 1:59.
Yes, sir, a little bit after that.
A little bit after that. Do you recall how much after that? Was it 2 hours? Was it 3? Well, you said it was quick, so I'm assuming just minutes. After that, you leave with the dog?
It was.
I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. I'm just trying to figure
I
the
can't
sequence. You don't remember
remember an exact
the exact time?
I mean, I tried to talk to her and get her to calm down, and then it just, she wasn't. So
Where was she at when you left?
she was in the bedroom.
In the bedroom?
Yeah.
Thomas is brought in for questioning. Seated across from trained detectives, he begins explaining the night in detail. Dinner, drinks, arguments, emotional stress, everything is carefully described to paint a picture of a troubled relationship. But detectives are not just listening. They are comparing every sentence against facts already gathered from other witnesses.